Abridged News AI. Basically, the problem statement here is that staying up to the date with news is hard. And the reason why is that a lot of websites are really overwhelming with their layout and their organization. For example, if we take a look at this website, we can see that articles compete for your attention. There's varying headline sizes, page spread, some have images, some don't. And so it can be really hard to know where to start and where to find the information that you care about. In addition, these headlines also kind of suck generally. Headlines are either too short because they're competing for your time to be informative, or they're too sensational, competing for your attention to let you weigh them accurately for importance and interest. And depending on your news source, those articles can be biased or have their own narrative or agenda. A lot of websites might do a good job at providing a fair presentation, but still show some subtle, biased language. And so it can be really taxing for the reader to pluck out fact from narrative. With Abridged News AI, we use AI to help you do that. This is our product. Abridged News AI is basically using a tried and true layout format designed for high throughput, right? The list view. Lots of websites like Twitter and Reddit and other infinite scrolling websites use this format, and we think it does it in a fair way. All of the articles get the same treatment, right? The same weight. And it helps with organization, right? Because you can come in at the beginning of your day, you can look at the most recent news, and you can just scroll down. That's your navigation, that's your organization, and you just pluck out the things that are of interest to you. When you do find a article, AI has kind of read the article for you and tried to give you important information about that article. For instance, it can get the intent of the article, in this case to inform the readers of the high rate of emergency service calls. And then also what the author wants you to believe from reading that article. In this case, that the North Richmond injecting room specifically caused the increased calls. It also tries to give you a little hint about political bias, whether it is biased, and if so, what that bias would be. It tries to gauge the locality of the news, whether it's local, national, or global, and then qualify it as soft or hard news, and then whether the journalism type is investigative, sport, entertainment, etc. More powerfully, it is able to do critical thinking and pluck out the fact from the narrative and give you the objective statement list and the subjective statement list, or the factual statements and bias statements. But basically, it's really easy to pull out the statements of the event that occurred and separate them from things that are maybe more emotionally charged or narrative charged. And help you kind of just ingest the stuff that's important to you. If there is an image associated with it, you can click that and we'll show that kind of in line. Let's see if this one gives you a good article. So you can always go back to the source and see what they presented. Generally, we do also provide the raw content in not so pretty format, but that's here for you to kind of compare to as well. It surprisingly handles different languages. This was kind of a pleasant surprise for us when we were looking at this. This article is definitely not written in English, but it was still able to find out and provide an English transition of what the intent and what the article wants to believe. It pulls out what happened, the bias and subjective statements, and even though I can't read the article, I can get a sense of what has happened here. This is what we got, and we think it's really powerful and really useful. We hope you enjoy it. Thanks.